Hi and welcome to another episode of Chennai AI Community Podcast. Let's explore the world of artificial intelligence through interesting conversations. And with that note, I would like to welcome the guest for today, Rajabhupati. Hi Raj,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great. So he's a ML manager. He has taken time to come today and discuss on AI.
Thanks for having me here.
Great. So I would like to start with your journey. Like, how did you get into AI?
I started my journey as a data engineer where we were dealing with a lot of data, in fact, millions and billions of records in TBs. And I was doing a lot of data engineering, feature engineering, so-called all the ML engineers roles as of now, right? But we in the name of data engineering, right? And when I really went into completing my data tables, semantic tables, journal tables, I really wanted to know how this is being really used. And that's when I really talked with data scientists and the business intelligence people. And that's the moment I really got curious about, okay, there is a data that we are developing and how it is being used is more fascinating. And that's why I thought, okay, I should move into some place where I really see the usability of the data rather than sitting and building the data lake. So that's the triggering point, and I was trying to do a lot of things with my short projects against ML, and then I took a structural way of learning and then became a ML engineer and then an ML manager as of now.
Okay, so that's interesting. So if you can tell us what is the current ML landscape, what is the opportunities, how is the job market?
Okay, so with respect to ML landscape, every industry needs AI, and be it from finance sector to manufacturing, and it's rapidly evolving, and there are plethora of opportunities that is available in the market.
So let's say it's the ML role is not restricted to just the IT industry, maybe healthcare or finance. There are open positions, right? So that's how it is.
Yeah. So for instance, even for identifying a defect within a phone, they are using object detection, right? And for identifying a patient's problem through emergency signals, they are using object detection. So it varies within industries, but the solutions are gonna be same.
So I mean, literally, I think every industry needs to have one then.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So already it's picking up right now.
Yeah.
So okay, since the demand or the role is across is needed, how about the talent shortage? Is talent shortage real?
So I would say it's other way around. Rather about talent shortage, the jobs are increasing in a rapid manner.
Okay.
And if you talk about India's forecast, it is around 3.5 billion investments that is coming into AI. And with that said, the number of jobs required is also high, but the people who are really skilled is less. So there is a immense potential to get into this market.
Okay. So I was in this India AI conference last week at Telangana, and again one of the discussion points was that India needs around 40 million AI workers when we just have like 4 or very less.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what you're saying, that there is a huge shortage. So a typical ML manager, like SDLC manager, we know the roles and responsibility. Like for ML manager, how it is like different? Like if you can just say similarities and difference, if you can just call it that way.
So ML manager really needs to understand each and every day what is happening around the world by reading through research papers and understanding the LinkedIn post, because LinkedIn is a very good source of keeping you up to trend. Every day there is a new model getting released. You can also go through newsletters and papers, right? So with all these things, it's very important that ML managers keep them up to trend, because software engineering is already well settled, I feel. And even if it is not settled, the ML solutions like GitHub Copilot can help you to get up to speed on that space as well.
So I've been in that zone of in the software SDLC manager spot. So with my experience, what I can say is that you don't need to be so updated at this space. We need to be updated, but definitely not like every day I have to see what is going around in Java. Like I was handling the Java project, so or even the production support. I never had that necessity to go even weekly once to go and see what is latest.
Yep.
So that was the era of my corporate life when I was there. So now it's like every day you have to spend like.
Yeah, obviously, because even every day there is a new model that to state of the art models. For instance, OpenAI released a recent model 4.1, I believe, and DeepSeek, they are doing rapid things. So everywhere models are increased. The way the people think and research differently have really made this one very much rapid, and we also have to go towards that rapidness to really evolve as a good manager or a good leader or a good team member.
So let's say, okay, you're doing for your interest or your learning, but what is the use case for you, for a project manager, a ML project manager? Why should the person be so updated? What is the use case?
Yeah, because you might need to get into the shoes of leadership as well, because leadership demands you to understand the new technologies, and you wanted to really bring those innovations. Basically, difference between a pioneer and a later part of the game, right? If you're later part of the game, you are not going to achieve better in the innovation, right? If Apple is able to give you Face ID, if Google is not giving, you are not going to get into the market, right?
So you should be, because leadership has different responsibilities and their goals are different. So they come to project manager as a thought leader who can advise them, who can share their vision and say what is best suitable to achieve those goals.
That's
technically.
Right.
And that's the reason, from leadership perspective, they need that level of technical inputs now because of the AI ML landscape. Because for a production support, they know the entire flow. They know it's been going on for years. But Java, they know this is how it is, it's operating. But this is a very new era now.
That's right.
So you keep yourself updated.
So I generally follow LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good source because every day something gets released, and you need to really develop your LinkedIn circle to keep you informed with the different trends. The second thing is obviously newsletters. Andrew NG provides newsletters, and there are several other avenues like NVIDIA, and people try to provide newsletters. And there are also research websites like Paper with Code, which gives you the recent papers with code as well, right? How they build it. So, which will help you to really build a state-of-the-art model from your laptops and infrastructure. So, having all those things will really help in bringing more.
So, this is interesting. So, you're saying even research paper, you as a ML manager, they have to go through.
Yeah, we need to go through, so that, say you have a business problem, right? A object detection problem. How do you guide them? How do you guide the team? Okay, this is the best object detection model. How can you even say that no, this is not? So unless you know what is in the market, so it is important that you read the papers, you really underline what are the important features, what is the limitation of the paper, and suggest that okay, this is the limitation, and you can use that as a precursor to drive your solution.
Okay, so I mean, research is interesting. So let's say that you're reading research papers. Does it also mean that somebody, let's say a project manager or ML manager, is the company expecting, or what does the current landscape look like? Do they also need to contribute towards the research, do the research, file patents, or how does that
Obviously, innovation is everywhere demanded, right? And you need to go through different research papers. You need to contribute to the research papers. In general, there is a strong encouragement from any management to really submit conferences, submit papers, try to apply for patents. And when I say patents, very specific to their company roles and company responsibilities. So always these are encouraged, and it's very important as a people leader, you need to get into that.
So let's say somebody at a mid-level or at lead level is working with the ML manager. They together filed a patent. They did innovation in their field. So how does that innovation, does that credit of innovation goes to, it belongs to the company or the person who came up with the idea? Normally, what do you see the trend?
No, in general, it belongs to the company because they spend a lot of amount to or the funding to really get into that, because there is a lot of legal team and
Correct, yeah.
juries that runs through to really bring, okay, there is a patent associated with this particular idea, right? So there is always a good important thing that happens to the associate who really develops that also, which means whenever I hire or whenever any manager hires, it actually look for, okay, there's a patent. There
So
is
that
a
person can actually say in their portfolio, in their LinkedIn, saying that I have contributed towards this for my organization.
Yeah, I have submitted so and so conferences, I have completed so and so journals, I have completed this particular product, or I could even say that, okay, I have submitted a patent which will really help you to really apply for the next level of companies.
Let's say ML manager, when they look for potential candidates, so this is an interesting point, that somebody has to contribute to any of this patent. Is it become like normally somebody who is like 10 years 15 years experience, is it like a basic thing that is expected out of them in today's context? How it is, like, is it optional or become mandatory, or most preferred?
For me, it's not about mandation, but it is brand value that you bring to the table. So if a person who is with more than 12 years of experience is not having a patent, it's not a good thing. But it is, whether if you ask me, okay, is it mandatory to have it? No. But it's about the brand that they carry, and that is going to help them to stand out of the crowd when there are 10 people.
Okay. So, okay, that's interesting. So, let's say somebody who is wanting to get started, okay, they want to get started in the ML field. What is the basic criteria, like ML manager or the organization, what do they look for in that candidate? Like from the technical perspective, attitude perspective?
Okay, so if you wanted to become an ML engineer, the first thing that in general companies look for is data structures and algorithm, right? If you are a very profound data structures knowledge, and if you are very good at algorithm, then that's the first sign. The reason is you need to delve deep into that to really understand how the machine learning models work, because these models are computer intensive, and you need to really know how to orchestrate your in very smaller components to really make an efficient model. That's why we have data structures. Second thing is Python, and where you have a strong coding knowledge, and then goes with deep learning, machine learning, generative AI, and now agents. So as the models are improving, and as the industry is moving towards better things, we also have to keep ourselves within these ecosystems to really get into a space.
Okay, so they should know DSA, strong DSA, Python, and whatever is latest going around in AI, let's say agents or agentic. Okay. So how does the typical interview normally looks like? Like they have the written test, coding test, how many rounds? I know maybe like big companies have 7-8 rounds. In India, what do you observe around? Like how many rounds normally they go with?
So in general, there will be at least 4 rounds. One for Python and DSA, and other could be on machine learning. And then there will be a behavioral round where you will be assessed for your attitude. When I say attitude, it's very important that teams or the people we are hiring has very much open mindset, right? Because you need to learn more. You need to keep on updating you on all the items that is happening around the world. So you cannot simply sit, right? You should have the urge of learning. So that mindset is really important than anything else that what you see. So that's one key area that we in general employers really look for.
Okay, so let's say somebody who is a college student and they want to get into the AI ML space. So in which year you think they should start their preparation in order to be aligning themselves to place?
Yeah, for me, it should be as early as possible. Maybe at the end of the first year, they should understand what problem statement or what area or what is the machine learning path that they want to take. From there, they should try to learn the basics and build their portfolios in GitHub and other profiles. So, and move forward with the research mindset, and try to attend as many internships in their area of interest.
Okay, so internships and also GitHub profile. So let's say from an employer perspective, the employers are not anymore just looking at the resumes, but the GitHub profiles and internship experience definitely gives them an edge.
Yeah, correct. So how consistently you are doing something on the ML, because consistency and due diligence is very important for being in ML industry, and that's where we have this GitHub. So we also see how much contribution they are consistently doing from the year, what area they are doing. So all those things are really
that
matters.
basically tracks like when they have posted. So let's say when normally for students I'm saying that somebody thinks that okay, I have done something in GitHub. I have done 2 days. I worked on a mini car price prediction model and worked. Those things count, or like what are the things that employers will generally look out for? What scale of projects or what level or depth, if you can just give an idea?
So obviously, as I was mentioning, AI is a journey, right? And you need to continuously evolve on one particular machine learning path to really show your performance inside that particular path, right? And it could not be like just developing a smaller projects and showing that I'm ML specific and I'm ML expert. No. So you need to make sure that you are driving a journey and from the scratch to the surface, right? That's very important.
So if I could say, will it be fair to say that if you're able to build something in 1 day or 1 week, that is definitely not the project that employers would be interested in?
No, absolutely no.
You need to understand probably which domain you're building, what is the solution you're trying to build, and it takes time to do that.
Absolutely. You should also see what other ways we can do it.
Okay.
Because in interview the questions could be like, okay, why did you even try the other solution, right? That's how the questions will be. So you should know what other available solutions are there for this particular problem that you solved, and how do you take it forward.
So let's say a person cleared the interview, they joined the organization. So if like what is the current expectation, if you can say, for a junior ML engineer or a mid-level ML engineer or a lead ML engineer? What will be their role expectations?
So for a junior level engineer, he should be a go-to person where he should be able to develop models, understand the algorithms, and whatever the leads are saying, he should be able to execute basically. And for a mid-level engineer, it is like you should be able to negotiate. Okay, you should be trying to bring different approaches and cascade it to us. When I say as its management and the leads, and once you have that, you also say that okay, this is the best approach for this. That's the best approach. So bringing the variety to the table, that's mid-level, and lead is like okay, he's the one who decides. Okay, this is how the architecture relation should be. This is how the design principle should be applied to this particular machine learning model, and this is how we can derive the solution to really understand the business and then do the things right. So he should be like a bridge for a machine learning manager as well as the junior level people.
So again, the question here is like, let's say junior employee, right? So my understanding is that they should be able to do by themselves, not somebody who comes and keeps asking. They should be able to operate independently with minimum supervision.
Yeah, minimum supervision.
Okay, that makes sense.
Minimum supervision and minimum mentorship, maybe.
Mentorship, yeah, that's right. So for a team lead level, okay, so how does it look like? Do they also need to contribute on the research, or what is the expectation? So
yeah, obviously, getting into research, understanding different problems, understanding the design principles, understanding the deployment strategies, understanding the business value and impact that particular project is making, and driving the team towards business goals, right? All these are something that the leads are expected to do.
So what I'm taking from this is like that person should be a domain expert.
Yeah.
They should understand the line of business, the vertical, and also technical expert as well. They should be aware of what is latest of technology as well, so that's when this combination can bring value.
That's right. And just one level up is the manager, and he has to just add one more level where he has to do the stakeholder management. But pretty much the leads are expected to do a very similar role like a manager, so that they offload certain things from the manager as well.
I would like to know, how do you keep yourself updated, in this fast-paced, AI/ML landscape?
So first thing, you go through a lot of newsletters.
Okay.
Andrew NG is a very good professor, or for me he is a professor, and he's a good mentor for me. He puts up a lot of shorts and short courses.
Okay.
And in fact, he also has very big longer courses where you can really get into hands-on with the notebooks and all this stuff. And obviously there are sites like Awesome ML Ops, Awesome LLM Ops, which really goes to the depth of ML with hands-on experiences. And there is a site called Made with ML. So we can get all these GitHub libraries and try to download it to your system and try to use that. So that's one way you can keep you updated. And the other thing is you also get into a strategic learning or a structural learning where you do certain masters. I myself doing a masters in IU Germany University.
Oh, okay.
And I'm currently doing my thesis. Hope that completes well. And it is it's a not a easy journey. It's a tough journey where you really get into the shoes of different aspects of research and go deep and understand the state-of-the-art models, how they are performing, how you really can adapt to the real-life situation. All those things are something that you need to practically learn from others as well as do yourself.
So you are working full-time in your role, you're keeping yourself updated and all this. Apart from that, you're also doing masters.
Yeah, that's a industry demand, and even if you have a masters and if you are able to apply for patent, then you are seen differently.
For somebody who is like a Java developer or let's say production support who are currently working in the industry, so if they want to be a part of the AI ecosystems, what advice or what options do you think is available for them?
So either be a strong user of AI or be a developer of AI, right? So that is a two dimension that you can think. So I met a recent person in a particular meetup, and he's a very strong Java developer. He was able to integrate track system. He is able to integrate agentic systems to the website that he has developed, right? And the best part is he's able to explain even what is the rack, what is agentic, not from a pure ML perspective, but rather from a user perspective. So it's a very strong thing that every person across the industry can do. Say if you're a software developer, you try to use Copilot or something to really develop your solution.
Okay, so this is for somebody who, so basically to summarize, somebody has to be a strong user of AI. They should see what all available AI tools or options that they can use within their project or within their client network to best leverage AI. So it's not like only ML engineers or AI engineers has to be updated. Even people who are Java or any other technology, they also need to be updated so that they can be aware of all that is out there and start suggesting to their hierarchy and start using it, right? So that's one way. Yeah. So what about somebody who says that okay, I've done enough of Java, I've done enough of this, now I want to transition completely into AI. What would that journey look like?
Yeah, first thing, come with the open mindset. That's very important. Growth mindset and open mindset is very important. So you try to learn AI in a structural way, take a course or take even a master's to really go to a structural learning. Once you complete that structural learning, you also can develop solutions through GitHub. You can also take Kaggle challenges, ML hackathon challenges. Try to do more of that and see wherever opportunity you have in your organization, or even there are groups, meetups where you can really go and volunteer and participate in different projects, which you can try to put it in a portfolio later. So once you do that, I think you will really get into an ML engineer role.
So this is not something that's going to happen in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You're talking about 2 years or somewhere around 2 years.
Yeah, it's a journey that you need to take because you need to learn the ML problem algorithms, and then you do hands-on, and then you really do industry projects, and then that's when you really get into the ML engineer role.
So see, to me, what I feel is like this is a very safer bet for somebody, for example, who is currently in their job roles and they are secured and they are operating at their capacity. At this time, if they start investing their time and energy into, if they want to transition to AI, that 2 years they can parallelly invest. And so let's say you come across ML manager comes across this profile, okay, somebody who has spent 12 years into Java development, but then they have done masters and they have done all this Kaggle challenges, they have done hackathons, they have done so much of other works. Would that candidate be picked up or considered?
So you have a live example of me, right? I started my career as data engineer, where I was closely working with ML people, and I was trying to do development of models and deployment of models along with them. And then I slowly get into smaller projects, pet projects, where I was continuously doing ML, and then I took up a certification course where it took a structural journey, and now I'm doing my master's. So that particular journey it doesn't happen within a year or so. It took around 2 to 3 years to really jump from a data engineer to a purely ML engineer role. So always wait for the opportunity, right? When the opportunity comes, you try to grab it, but before that, be prepared for any opportunity that comes on your way.
Okay, so just I want to go a step back and let's talk about the education, like colleges. If there is one thing you would say or you would wish that college can have focus a little more, although they are doing really good with the new data science and AI programs, anything else you wish it could have been done better or can be included?
Yeah, at least a good change that came in academics is they have started specific programs like AI, ML and data science courses, which is really good. The only place where they are lacking is they don't know how the model is being developed and how it is being deployed into production. So that industry gap and academic gap has to be fixed, and that can be fixed only when the partnerships are increased and the internships are enabled across industries, right? And whenever there is an internship coming on your way, try to pick it up according to your aspirations, so that you really show a historical experience on what you have planned, whether it is aligned with your machine learning path.
Any closing note before we just close? I would like to ask for people who are aspiring, if any mindset or anything you would like to.
One thing I think I'm sure that we are not scaring anyone, but it's all about just consistency and regulation that you keep within you on consistent learning. You need to really think about how can I take to this particular position to within a 2 or 3 years, right? And making sure that you learn each and everything in a structural manner and deploying and trying experiment whatever that comes on your way. Go with open mindset. There are a number of solutions. Say if you are a DevOps, you can go into MLOps. If you are a DevOps, you can go to LLMOps. And the options are quite heavy. Try to use AI in whatever the ways you have, and try to be part of AI wherever possible. That's when you can really click and get into great heights.
Okay, that's interesting. I think we covered most of it. So thank you so much for taking time, and it's such a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so thank you everyone for staying with us as we explore this world of AI. Let's do it responsibly and ethically. And with that note, I would like to close. Thank you and see you next time.